Since the start of the 2024 season, McLaren has emerged as the team everyone's talking about, and for good reason. From blistering track speeds to tactical wins, they've taken the spotlight. But as we know in Formula One, with great success often comes great scrutiny. What if I told you McLaren's recent victory at Baku wasn't as clean as it seems? There's footage that might change everything you thought you knew about their win. Stick around, because in this video we'll uncover the hidden details, the controversies swirling around McLaren's car, and what it could mean for their title hopes moving forward. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and stay with me till the end, because things are about to get really interesting. McLaren has been unstoppable ever since they hit their stride in Miami, showcasing performance that's left other top teams struggling to keep up. But now, after a dominant display in Baku, where they leaped to the top of the Constructors' Championship, cracks are beginning to show in their success story. Oscar Piastri's win, while celebrated by fans, has raised some eyebrows. Footage has surfaced that shows something unusual: the rear flap of McLaren's MCL38 flexing significantly more than what we've seen on other cars. This has led to growing concerns about whether the car is within the regulations. What makes this even more controversial is that it's not the first time McLaren's car has been questioned. Earlier in the season, there were whispers about the front wing of the MCL38, specifically how it bends in a way that gives McLaren an aerodynamic edge. Though the FIA has deemed everything to be legal so far, the visual evidence from Baku is hard to ignore. The rear wing's DRS system appears to rotate more than usual under high-speed conditions, raising suspicions that McLaren may be exploiting a grey area in the regulations. With these accusations swirling, many are wondering if McLaren's lead will be challenged by more than just their rivals on the track. Could the FIA step in and take action against them? And if so, what impact could this have on the remaining 7 races of the 2024 season? McLaren may have found themselves in the midst of a brewing storm. As McLaren continues its winning streak, questions about the integrity of their car are growing louder. After Piastri's triumph in Baku, where he held off fierce competition, another interesting detail has emerged. Lando Norris, starting all the way back in P15, fought his way to a solid P4 finish, reaffirming McLaren's power this season. But behind the celebrations, there's a lingering uncertainty about just how McLaren's car is performing at such an elite level. Unlike other top teams, McLaren has managed to install a series of successful upgrades without facing any of the usual setbacks or performance dips. This sets them apart in a season where almost every team has struggled to balance their advancements with maintaining a competitive edge. But it's the footage from Baku that's causing the most concern. It clearly shows the DRS flap rotating at a higher degree than what's considered normal under high-speed conditions. Essentially, it's like having a partial DRS effect, even when the system shouldn't be activated. This, of course, gives McLaren a significant advantage, particularly in defending against competitors like Ferrari. From lap 20 onward, Piastri took control of the race by overtaking Leclerc, but despite his lead, the rest of the race was spent in full defensive mode. For the remaining 31 laps, Piastri held off Leclerc, who pushed relentlessly. The question that lingers is, how did Piastri's car maintain such top speed, especially with the Ferrari SF24, known for its speed, breathing down his neck with DRS activated? Fans and analysts are beginning to wonder if McLaren's success on the straights in Baku was just a bit too good to be true. Piastri's performance in Baku was nothing short of impressive, but it's the specifics of how his McLaren handled the pressure from Leclerc that's raising eyebrows. Leclerc's Ferrari SF24, with its DRS open, should have had the advantage on the long straights, yet Piastri managed to fend him off lap after lap. What's puzzling is the consistency with which Piastri's car maintained its speed, leading some to believe that McLaren's rear wing played a bigger role than initially thought. Fans have begun to point out the peculiar flexibility of the DRS flap on McLaren's MCL38. Comparisons to other cars on the grid, including footage of Leclerc's own rear wing, show a stark difference. While every car's DRS flap has a slight degree of rotation under pressure, McLaren's appears to flex far more than any other. This has led to suspicions that the MCL38 might be benefiting from an aerodynamic advantage when the DRS is deployed, giving Piastri just enough speed to keep his competitors at bay. It's not the first time McLaren's technical innovations have been questioned. Earlier in the season, their front wing was at the center of controversy, with accusations that it flexed in ways that bordered on illegal. Though the FIA ruled that McLaren's car was within the rules, the rear wing issue has reignited these concerns. Some are now wondering if the FIA will take a closer look at the rear wing and whether it could lead to sanctions for McLaren as the 2024 season progresses. Meanwhile, Norris also benefited from McLaren's upgrades. Despite starting in P15, he climbed the ranks, using the car's stability on the hard compound tires to his advantage. His defense against Verstappen was another highlight of the race, with McLaren's speed making it difficult for the reigning champion to overtake. While Norris eventually lost a position to Sainz, who took advantage of worn tires, his performance still underlined the effectiveness of McLaren's upgrades. What's even more fascinating about the Baku race is how McLaren seemed to have mastered the hard compound tire. While other teams, including Ferrari and Red Bull, struggled to maintain performance over long stints, McLaren's MCL38 appeared to thrive. Lando Norris, in particular, showcased this strength, running on the hard tires for 38 laps and holding off Verstappen's attacks. This raised another question: has McLaren found something in their setup that allows them to maintain top speed and tire performance much longer than their competitors? In the second half of the race, after Alex Albon pitted, Norris found himself in clean air and was able to extend a lead of 2 seconds over George Russell, who was on fresher tires. This kind of performance underlines McLaren's advantage on the hard compound, and it's a major reason why they're now being viewed as the team to beat in 2024. What's more intriguing is the footage showing the DRS flap on Norris' car behaving in a similar way to Piastri's, flexing slightly more than usual, giving them a mini DRS effect, even when they weren't behind another car. This added flexibility, while not illegal, raises questions about the design philosophy McLaren is using. Is it giving them an unfair edge on straights? The comparison between McLaren's DRS and that of other teams, particularly Ferrari's SF24, highlights the difference. Leclerc's rear wing, for instance, displayed a much more controlled rotation when compared to Piastri's MCL38. This subtle difference might have been the reason Piastri was able to hold off Leclerc for so many laps, despite the Ferrari having DRS for most of the race. While fans and analysts continue to debate McLaren's car design, it's important to note that the FIA has not deemed anything illegal yet. McLaren has successfully navigated the grey areas of the regulations, but with growing pressure from teams like Red Bull and Ferrari, it's possible that further investigations could take place. For now, McLaren is reaping the rewards of their innovative approach, but they may find themselves in the crosshairs of the FIA if these flexing components become more pronounced. As McLaren enjoys their success, the focus now shifts to the future. Will the FIA step in and take a closer look at these flexible components? The rear wing, with its noticeable rotation under high-speed conditions, might not be illegal right now, but it's treading a fine line. Teams like Red Bull and Ferrari have been vocal about their concerns, particularly Christian Horner, who has pointed out the potential advantages McLaren might be gaining from this design. The flexibility of the MCL38's front wing had already been questioned earlier in the season, but it was cleared by the FIA. Now, the rear wing has become the center of attention. Horner and his team, alongside Ferrari's Fred Vasseur, have been closely monitoring McLaren's innovations. Both teams have even hinted that they might adopt similar technologies if the FIA continues to rule McLaren's components as legal. The strategy is clear: if one team finds an edge within the regulations, others will follow suit. But for now, McLaren holds the advantage, and that's clearly reflected in their position atop the Constructors' Championship standings. What adds to McLaren's dominance is how seamlessly they've managed to execute their upgrades. The team didn't rush anything and carefully tested every new piece through simulations and wind tunnel experiments. Andrea Stella, McLaren's team principal, recently elaborated on this process, explaining that their upgrades were methodically introduced. They didn't gamble by making significant changes all at once, unlike some of their rivals. This approach has given McLaren a consistent car across various circuits, making them adaptable to both high and low downforce tracks. With 7 races left in the season, McLaren's lead in the Constructors' Championship over Red Bull now stands at 20 points. However, this gap could have been even smaller if Sergio Perez hadn't retired from the Baku race, where he was running in the top 4. Despite this, McLaren has proven that their car isn't just fast in specific conditions, it's consistently competitive across all types of tracks. Their ability to maintain performance without relying on a particular circuit's characteristics gives them a significant edge. One of McLaren's standout features this season has been the McL38's ability to perform well in a wide range of conditions. Unlike other teams that need to hit a sweet spot on certain tracks to extract maximum performance, McLaren's car has a broader operating window. This has allowed them to dominate on circuits with varying downforce requirements, from high-speed tracks like Baku to more technical circuits. Their ability to adapt and remain competitive is what sets them apart and is why they've taken the lead in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull, on the other hand, is trying to close the gap. Horner has hinted at introducing a more flexible front wing, starting from the Austin Grand Prix, hoping that it will bring them back into contention for the title. The RB20, while still fast, has struggled in recent races, particularly in the hands of Max Verstappen, who hasn't won in the last 7 races. Verstappen's inability to secure a victory during this period has allowed McLaren, and specifically Norris, to close the gap in the drivers' standings. While Verstappen still holds the lead, the pressure is mounting, and with each passing race, McLaren looks more like a serious title contender. Norris' remarkable ability to recover from deep in the grid has been a key factor in McLaren's resurgence. In Baku, he started from P15, yet managed to finish in P4, only losing out to Sainz due to worn tires in the final laps. His consistent performance and ability to fight his way through the pack have been crucial for McLaren's points haul this season. But what's even more impressive is that McLaren's dominance isn't solely reliant on Norris. Piastri, the rookie, has also delivered under pressure, showing that the McL38 is a championship-caliber car in the hands of both drivers. However, the introduction of Red Bull's new flexible front wing could shift the balance of power once again. If the upgrade works as planned, Verstappen might be back in contention for wins, and the 7-race drought could finally come to an end. But for now, McLaren is enjoying their position at the top, and with just 7 races left in the season, they have the momentum to challenge Red Bull until the very end. McLaren's rise to the top is no accident. Their technical department has undergone a complete overhaul in recent years, and their state-of-the-art facilities in Woking are now paying dividends. Andrea Stella, the mastermind behind much of McLaren's resurgence, was confident that the team's full potential would be realized by 2025, but it seems like that success has arrived earlier than expected. This newfound form is not just about a fast car, it's about a well-oiled machine, both on and off the track, which is firing on all cylinders. A key turning point in McLaren's journey was Lando Norris' decision to stay with the team. Norris had made it clear that he wanted to be in a championship-contending car, and McLaren promised him just that. The arrival of Piastri has added another dimension to the team, creating a dynamic driver pairing capable of challenging for victories. Piastri's ability to perform under pressure, despite being a rookie, has only strengthened McLaren's bid for the championship. The harmony between both drivers and the team's leadership has created a competitive environment that thrives on excellence. Andrea Stella explained that McLaren's upgrades were introduced cautiously to ensure that each change was effective. Unlike some teams that brought radical updates to the track, McLaren stuck to a more conservative approach. Since their major upgrades in Miami, the team has only made minor tweaks, allowing them to gradually improve their performance without risking reliability issues. In fact, Stella noted that McLaren didn't even make substantial changes to the car's floor, a crucial component for downforce, in their recent upgrades. The team's patience has paid off, and the result is a car that's fast, reliable, and consistent across a range of circuits. Despite Red Bull and Ferrari's attempts to close the gap, McLaren has remained unshaken. After taking the lead in the Constructors' Championship, they've shown no signs of slowing down. Their ability to perform well across different track types, whether it's a high-speed circuit like Baku or a more technical one like Zandvoort, has made them the most well-rounded team on the grid. While Red Bull continues to chase a solution to their recent struggles, McLaren is reaping the benefits of their meticulous planning and execution. Looking ahead, the next races will be crucial for McLaren as they aim to consolidate their lead in the Constructors' Championship. With the pressure mounting, every point matters, and both Norris and Piastri will need to remain sharp. The upcoming races in Austin and beyond will test the durability of McLaren's strategies and the effectiveness of their upgrades against Red Bull's newly flexible front wing. It's a thrilling prospect, two teams at the top of their game, each pushing the boundaries of technology and performance. As the season progresses, questions linger about the implications of their respective car designs. Will McLaren's rear wing draw the scrutiny of the FIA? If so, how will they navigate the regulatory waters? On the flip side, will Red Bull's new components provide the necessary edge to reclaim the championship lead? The tight margins in performance mean that any minor advantage can have significant consequences, and both teams will be keeping a close eye on each other's developments. F1 fans are in for a treat as the championship battle heats up. McLaren, with their innovative design and strategic approach, has positioned themselves as a formidable contender. The excitement surrounding their performances is palpable, and with each race, the anticipation builds. Can McLaren maintain their momentum, or will Red Bull bounce back and turn the tide? As we look forward to the remaining races, the question remains: can McLaren solidify their dominance, or will the seasoned warriors of Red Bull and Ferrari rise to reclaim their places at the top? The answers lie in the twists and turns of the upcoming circuits, where every lap counts, and the championship could be decided by mere fractions of a second. What do you think? Will McLaren continue their winning streak, or will their rivals find a way to outpace them? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis and coverage as the thrilling 2024 F1 season unfolds. And there you have it, the incredible journey of McLaren in the 2024 F1 season. From their innovative designs to the fierce competition on the track, this team is redefining what it means to be a championship contender. But what do you think? Will McLaren maintain their lead, or will Red Bull and Ferrari make a comeback? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more thrilling F1 content. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll dive deeper into the world of Formula One and all the exciting developments as the season unfolds. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the track.